Class 11th, subject physics, practical, experiment number 9, refractive index of prism. Refractive index of prism. The aim of this experiment is to determine angle of minimum deviation for a given prism by plotting a graph between angle of incidence and angle of deviation. So to determine the angle of minimum deviation for a given prism by plotting a graph between angle of incidence and the angle of deviation. So in this experiment, first of all, we will have to determine the angle of deviation for a given prism, and then by plotting a graph of angle of deviation and the angle of incidence for different values of angle of incidence, we will get different values of angle of deviation, and then graph between these two will be plotted. Hence we will get the angle of minimum deviation from the graph, and then we can find out the refractive index of that material of the prism. And therefore for this the material needed is drawing board, then white sheet of paper, then prism, then drawing pins, then pencil, then half meter scale or simple compass scale, then office pins or simple pins, then graph paper and a protector. So this will be the material needed for this experiment. And now the formula which will be used here, that is the refractive index of material of the prism. The refractive index of the material of the prism is given by the formula refractive index mu is equal to sin a plus delta m upon 2 divided by sin of a by 2. Mu equal to sin a plus delta m by 2 upon sin of a by 2. Now in this formula, delta m will represent angle of minimum deviation that will be determined with the help of that graph, and angle A is the angle of prism which will be measured directly from the outline of the prism by using the protector. And so for that purpose, let us consider the ray diagram here. So in this diagram, this ABC represents the outline of the prism. So first of all, we will have to mark the outline of the prism which will act as the principal section of the prism. Then for this outline, BC will represent base of the prism, and opposite to this base, the vertex A will be having angle of prism A. So this will be the angle of prism A which will be directly measured with the help of protector. Then remaining two sides AB and AC will act as refracting edges of the prism. AB and AC will act as refracting edges of the prism. Then PQ, this ray of light will act as incident ray. PQ will be acting as incident ray, and it will make some angle of incidence I with this dotted line which is perpendicular to this surface AB, which is called as normal to this surface AB. So normal will be meeting at this point Q to this surface AB. Similarly, angle of incidence is incident at point Q, and therefore angle between this normal and the incident ray, this angle will be angle of incidence I. Then when this ray of light PQ incidents obliquely on this surface AB, it is first traveling through rarer medium, that is air medium, then it will enter into denser medium, therefore it will bend towards normal. So this will be the normal inside the prism, so that this ray of light will bend towards this normal and it will travel along QR throughout the prism. Therefore QR will act as the refracted ray. Then angle between refracted ray and normal, that is angle of refraction, here we will get R1, here it will be R2. Then after that, when this ray of light reaches to point R, after that it will travel from denser medium to rarer medium, therefore it will bend away from this normal, and so that here passing through this point R, this dotted line will be the normal to this edge AC. To this AC, this will be the normal, that is perpendicular, and therefore at last, while entering that ray of light from denser medium to rarer medium, that is coming out of the prism, it will travel along RS, and therefore RS will act as emergent ray. So in this diagram, PQ is incident ray, QR is refracted ray, RS is the emergent ray. In order to measure the angle of deviation, now we have to produce PQ. This incident ray will be produced in the same direction. With the help of these dotted lines, it is produced. Similarly, this emergent ray will be now produced in the backward direction. This will be produced in the backward direction, so that here this will be the angle between these two produced rays, that is in direction of incidence and direction of emergence. Between these two, the angle will be delta, that is the angle of deviation. So for different values of angle of incidence, we will have to measure the respective values of angle of deviation. So in all, there are 7 different angles given. For example, the angles which are given are angle of incidence are 35 degree, 40 degree, 45 degree, 50 degree, 55 degree, 60 degree and 65 degree. And for these angles, the respective angle of deviations we will have to measure. So for that purpose, the procedure will be, first of all, on the drawing board we will have to fix the given plain paper of sheet. Plain paper sheet, that is white paper, white plain paper sheet we will have to take. Then as we have to find out 7 different angle of deviation, 7 different outlines of the prism will be marked initially on that paper, and then one by one for each outline we can find the angle of deviation. So for that purpose, first of all, we will have to fix that given paper sheet, white paper sheet on the board. So on this board we will have to first of all fix with the help of the pins that given paper, and therefore first of all I will fix that given sheet, given white sheet with the help of pins on this wooden board. So on the wooden board, that is drawing board, we have to fix that given plain paper. So now the pins will be fixed here, and therefore now that paper is fixed here. So like this, paper is now fixed. Then different outlines are marked here like this. So this is first ABC, then here there will be second ABC. So like this, number of 7 different outlines of the prism will be marked. So let us see, this will be the prism here, and then its outline is marked like this. So this prism will be placed here, and in this way we will get the outline of this prism. So first of all, the outline of the prism will be marked. Then after marking this outline of the prism, now we will have to proceed further. So for that purpose, first of all, this BC will act as base, AB will be first refracting edge, AC will be second refracting edge. For that refracting edge AB, first of all, for this refracting edge AB, we will consider this first refracting edge AB. Now we have taken a point here on it. So through that point, like this, putting this, so here there will be 90 degree, here it is 90 degree. So we have to mark here 90 degree. and then we have to join it. So that mark which is there will be now joined with this point, so that we will get the normal. So this line will represent normal to this surface at this point, suppose Q. So this will be the point Q. So normal is drawn to this surface AB. Then we will have to draw a line which makes angle of first angle is 35 degree, and therefore for this 35 degree angle we will have to draw the first line. So with the normal, with this normal we have to make angle of 35 degree. So we can match like this. Then here we can draw that. So here there will be 0, then 10, 20, 30 and 35. So this will be 35. Then we have to join that with this point Q. So join it with this point Q. So it will be joined now like this, so that we will get this angle of incidence equal to 35 degree. So this is the angle of incidence. Now we have to place, or we have to fix two pins at a distance of nearly 2 centimeter on this incident ray. So this will act as the incident ray. Let it be PQ. So let it be PQ is the incident ray. So for this incident ray, now we have to fix two pins vertically on it, such that the two pins will lie nearly at a distance equal to so exactly vertically we will have to fix these pins. So this will be the first pin. Then second pin we will have to fix here again at a distance of nearly 2 centimeter from this first pin. So here we can fix that pin. So like this, two pins will be fixed on that line like this. So these two pins must be exactly vertical. So this is the first pin, this will be the second pin. These two pins will be exactly vertical, and therefore now we will have to keep that prism. We will have to keep that prism here on this boundary, or the outline of that prism. We have to place this prism. So as soon as this prism is placed now here, at that time along this line, here there will be a line up now. Along this line we will have to observe. So these are the two pins which are acting as object. Now after refraction, these rays will travel now in this way, and therefore if this is the boundary here, Now we will have to observe. So in this way, when that prism is kept here on this boundary, at that time we have to observe the images of these two pins from this another refracting surface. And once if you observe these the images, then these images will lie along this path. So this will be the first. So in this way, along this direction we will observe now here the direction of the pin 1, and then we will have to put another, again we have to fix the pin in the same direction so that all the 4 pins will be along same line, and therefore like this we can fix that pin here. So 2 pins are fixed here like this. 2 pins will be now fixed here, and therefore so this will be the second pin. Now in this case it is observed that the images of all these 4 will be along the same line. Then we will have to remove this prism, then remove these pins now, and then we will have to mark their spots. Again we can remove this, then we can mark here another point, then we can join these. We have to join this. So this will be joined now here to this surface AB and AC. Like this we can draw this. So this will be the emergent ray. Then join this QR, join this QR, join this QR. So like this QR will be joined now. So after joining this QR now, we will get emergent ray. And then in order to measure the angle of deviation, we have to extend this direction of incidence. We will have to extend, and therefore it will be extended like this, so that we can extend it. Then we can extend this emergent ray in the backward direction so that it will meet this. So here this emergent ray, when it is produced in the backward direction, and when this angle, that is incident ray, is produced in the forward direction, at that time at this point E they will meet each other. At this point E they will meet each other, and then we will have to measure its angle of deviation, and therefore this angle of deviation will be now measured at this point. So we have to put that center of the protector at this point E, then to this emergent ray, this zeroth line will coincide, and then we will have to measure that angle, so that if we consider this line, that is angle of deviation will be equal to, this will be here now, exactly we will coincide this. So this will be 10, then this will be 20, then it will be 30, then here there will be 35, 36 and 37. So that here that angle we will get, angle of deviation, this angle is equal to 37 degree. Now in order to measure the angle of emergence also, we can draw the normal to this surface. We can draw normal to this surface AC. To this AC also we can draw normal in this way. So here we will get 90 degree as here, and therefore after joining this we will get this another normal to this surface AC. To this surface AC, this will be the normal drawn. So this will be the AC. Therefore this will represent angle of emergence, and here this angle is angle of deviation delta, which comes out to be 37 degree. So in this case, for angle of incidence is equal to 35 degree, we have got the angle of deviation equal to 37 degree. So in the similar manner, for all the outlines of the prism, if you consider the outlines of the prism, then for all the outlines of the prism we can draw like this angle of incidence and angle of deviation we can measure, and therefore in this case we will get different values of angle of incidence and angle of deviation. So this diagram will be for first angle, that is for 35 degree. So if you consider another, this will be the second for 40 degree, then for 45 degree this will be third by the same procedure, then for fourth, that is 50 degree for 50 degree. Then again we will consider next one, that is fifth one, that is for 55 degree. Then for next sixth number 60 degree, and then seventh number 65 degree. So for all these outlines of the prism, for different angles of incidence we can find the angle of deviation. So in this case these two pins were along the same line, this line along the same line, so that here angle was 35 degree, and then here we will get angle between this produced direction of incidence and this produced direction of emergence, it comes out to be 37 degree. So in the similar manner we can find for different values of angle of incidence the different values of angle of deviation, and after that, after measuring these angles, here now we can proceed. So if you consider the observation table here, the angle of prism A equal to angle of prism. So for any one outline of the prism we can measure this angle. So if you consider this any one outline, suppose this, if you consider this third one outline, then for this third one outline we have to measure this angle A. So this will be the angle A that we will have to measure. So like this we can measure angle A. It comes out to be 60 degree. It is 60 degree, and so this angle A will be equal to 60 degree. So we can write this angle A is equal to 60 degree. That is if it is ABC, then angle of prism, generally for prisms angle of prism is equal to 60 degree for equilateral triangle prisms, and therefore A will be taken as 60 degree, and therefore in this case we can write A will be equal to this angle of prism A is equal to 60 degree. Then here first of all we have taken the reading for 35 degree angle of incidence, and then angle of deviation is 37 degree. So for remaining 40 to 65, for these angles, in the similar manner, we have to find out the angle of deviation, and after measuring this further, we can plot the graph of, afterwards we will have to plot the graph of angle of deviation against angle of incidence. Angle of deviation will be taken along y-axis, angle of incidence along y-axis with proper scale in terms of degrees. Suppose for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 like this. So on x-axis, if it is suppose 10 degree 1 centimeter equal to, for this again 10 degree 1 centimeter equal. So like this we can take the values of scale on x-axis as well as y-axis, and then if we plot the respective values, here angle of incidence will be taken as 35, 40, 45, 50 and so on. So for these respective angle of deviations will be plotted here. Then the graph comes out to be like this. For smaller values of angle of incidence, that is starting from 35, the angle of deviation will be large. As angle of incidence goes on increasing, angle of deviation goes on decreasing. Then for a particular angle of incidence, the angle of deviation becomes minimum, which is called as delta m, that is angle of minimum deviation. After that, if we increase the angle of incidence, then again there will be increase in the angle of deviation. So for only one angle of incidence I, we will get the delta m, that is angle of minimum deviation. So this minimum value from that graph will represent value of delta m. So when delta is equal to delta m, at that time angle of incidence and angle of emergence both are the same, that is I is equal to E. So by plotting this graph and finding this delta m, we can calculate the refractive index of the material of the prism as mu is equal to sine a plus delta m by 2. This delta m will be taken from the graph, and then sine of a by 2. A is already measured, that is 60 degree. And after that, calculating this, we can write the result. So first result is given here, that is only the explanatory. Then we have to find angle of minimum deviation delta m from that graph which is given, that we can write, and then refractive index of material of the prism mu, after calculating we will have to put there. And in the first result is given, I against D graph indicates that as the angle of incidence I increases, the angle of deviation decreases, then attains a minimum value delta m, and then starts increasing for the further increase in the angle of incidence. So from this only we will have to write the angle of minimum deviation from the graph, what is the value of the delta m, and then refractive index of the material of the prism mu. By calculating it with the help of this formula, we can write. So simply it is the procedure for this experiment.